Hey, what is going on you guys? It's Epic here and welcome back to a new video on the channel. And in this video we're going to be talking about a shield in Wonderlands, which to me is such a missed opportunity, and I kind of just want to pinch your thoughts for a second and get your overall impressions of it. The shield we're taking a look at today in this video is known as the Maced Wardu, and this is a melee shield which in my opinion could be one of the best shields in the game, but because of its lackluster effect just simply isn't, and is perhaps one of the worst. So the gimmick of this shield is that enemies who deal melee damage to the Fate Maker while warded will take melee damage based on the Fate Maker's equipped melee weapon. Now if you are anything like me, you would assume that this means that whatever special effect your melee weapon has will be carried over to the target should they hit you. But unfortunately my friends, that is not how this shield works at all, and in fact all it really is just a simple damage increase based on the card of your weapon. At least that's what mine and other people's testing brought up. Now I've tested out that damage and it doesn't seem to be that great at all, so you would assume that the saving grace would be that if a target hits you, the special effect of your melee weapon will be returned to them. For example, my goblin pickaxe makes it so that when I melee an enemy, I'll spawn gold, which I can then pick up for movement speed, spell cooldown and more. But as you'll see, if I let these crabs come up and melee me right here, that does not happen. No money is spawned from them, and as such they don't really take any damage either, making this shield pretty useless for everyday damage scenarios. Now I'm sure if you had a melee build you probably get more use out of this, but the point here that I'm trying to make with this shield is that for people that aren't running a melee build, it kind of would allow for this shield to have more use than just, hey, if you got a melee build, then maybe you can use this and take half an HP bar off of a common mob. Now for another test here, we've got the peg leg of mirth, and typically when hitting enemies with this melee weapon you'd gain a bunch more movement speed and also reload speed. And as a result, this would mean that if you're not using a melee build, you can still get a lot of use out of the Maced Wardu shield. There would be a lot of different synergies here and a lot of ways to improve your build even more. However, as you'll see, if I get the attention of these crabs and then take a hit from one of them, it's not going to boost my movement speed at all, nor will it boost my reload speed. Now, this is a big problem because aside from that, you also take a ton of damage in Wonderlands as it is, meaning with this shield, you only get like 2 hits to soak up before you go down anyway. So just assuming you did have a melee build that worked well with this shield, you're still just going to put yourself at a loss using it over something like the Cursed Whip, which would give you more damage to enemies anyhow. And for this reason, I think this shield is a big problem and could do with some kind of rework in the future. Now, the obvious suggestion that I'm going to bring up here with this shield is that it needs to apply the hilt mod to enemies when they swing at you. Otherwise, it's going to just leave itself feeling like a paperweight to most builds. And while I will say that yes, indeed, returning that melee damage from your weapon based on the card damage is pretty cool, it's not going to get the job done in a lot of scenarios, and there's just going to be better options overall. So I'd really like to see them work on the shield in the future if they could. Now, if you do want this shield, I do believe I know where the dedicated source for it is, and while this isn't completely confirmed because dedicateds in Wonderlands are currently a really tough situation, I believe that the location for the Maced Wardu is the obelisk in the Wargtooth Shallows right here on the map, and it drops from Great White, who is the boss that comes out of the obelisk. I've had it drop around 3 or 4 times, so I'm gonna assume that it is the dedicated, but don't take my word for it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about this shield today because I really think it's just one of the biggest missed opportunities when it comes to the shields in this game, and I think if there's one thing we could really do with, it's a better set of shields, and the Maced Wardu would be a great place to start in the future. So Gearbox, if you're listening, I think it would be really cool if we could rework this thing in the future and easily make it one of the most cracked shields in the game, resulting in some serious spaghetti interactions which would make for some crazy builds all around. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below, and if you were to rework the Maced Wardu, what would you do to it? Let me know. Is there any other way that we can make this thing better without making it apply hilt mods? Do you think it should apply hilt mods? And maybe you just disagree with me. If so, let me know why in the comment section down below. And also remember, if you want to pick yourself up some G Fuel, be sure to use code EpicNNG to get that new Tiny Tina's Wonderlands G Fuel flavor that's coming out. It looks extremely sick, so yeah, be sure to pick it up with my code when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.